environment that we operate in. So anyone that is found wanting in one thing or the other is definitely, whatever that's been done is nipped in the bud almost immediately, so that it doesn't affect the market generally. So the two regulatory bodies, the U.S. State Commission, have really been up to their responsibility in carrying out sufficient market surveillance and ensuring that everybody complies and there's no infraction in the market. So there could be one or two, but at the same time, the one we are seeing presently are things that have happened in time past, not recent occurrences. So we are really up to the task, and I believe that with that in place, investors will have more confidence in the market.
All right, thank you so much, Rotimi, for sharing your thoughts with us. So hopefully we'll see those results coming out today. UBA and First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Have a profitable trading today. I've been talking to Rotimi Fakejo, stockbroker, calling live from the trading floor of the local bourse, sharing his thoughts on trading last week and what we can expect in terms of what will be the key market driver for trading today and perhaps for the rest of the week. Don't forget that it's still earnings season. We're still having some 2012 audited results still coming in, and now that's been overtaken by the first quarter results that's also been released. We're expecting more to come in this week. Well, that's been our eye on the capital market segment in association with Guaranty Trust Bank. Welcome back. Let's check with stock markets outside our shores. Thin trading session is what the Asian bourses recorded this morning, and we also saw for those bourses that opened, that traded, sentiment was a bit negative on the back of disappointed economic data coming out from Wall Street on Friday. Markets in Tokyo and China are on holiday today, closed for the Golden Week celebration. So the numbers you're looking at there for the Shanghai Composite Index and Nikkei 225 in Japan are actually Friday's closing numbers. So we have the ASX 200 in Australia this morning up in positive territory at over 0.5%, and the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong also closing in positive territory, up 0.18% at over 22,589 points. Well, let's cross over to Europe. Europe is looking very green this morning. Stocks are trading in the green zone as Italy's new government prepares to announce its new economic plan. It's going to present that to Parliament this morning, and it's expected at least a two-thirds of the majority to vote in favor of that new economic plan. Also, European Union officials will meet with the Greek government today to approve the next bailout tranche for the indebted country. About 2.8 billion euros is what Greece is looking to collect as a second tranche of its financial rescue bailout plan. Let's look at the numbers. The London FTSE 100 up 0.06%. Markets in Germany also looking good, up about over 0.5%. The Paris CAC 40 has gains close to 1% so far, while the Swiss market index in Switzerland is also trending in positive territory, up 0.48%. Let's quickly check with markets on Wall Street. Friday's closing numbers. The markets will be open later today, 2:30 Nigerian time. Red numbers mostly, but we saw the Dow Jones Industrial Average closing up in positive territory, up 0.08%. Wall Street ended mixed on Friday, but still closed positive for the week. Now, last week, the U.S. reported its gross domestic products data for the first quarter of this year. That's the first 3 months, January, February, and March, and that fell below analysts' expectations. The U.S. economy grew by just 2.5%. Economists had been expecting that to be at least 3%. But then again, the U.S. economy just grew by just 0.04% in the last quarter of 2012. So for many other analysts, it's still a good number. It still shows that there's still growth, and the U.S. economy is still on a firm path of recovery. So we saw investors having their sentiment dampened on the back of that, as being reflected in the numbers. The Nasdaq was down 0.33%. The Russell 2000 for the smaller cap stocks was also in negative territory, down 0.53%. Well, that's it with markets outside our shores. When Business Morning returns, we'll be looking at Nigeria's local manufacturing industry. We'll also be looking at the local industry patronage bill. I'll be talking to Dele Alimi. He's the Director of Trade, Promotion and Membership at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Join us again.
Wherever and whatever your banking needs, Guarantee Trust Bank will be there, now and into the future. Because you're at the heart of everything we do. Guarantee Trust Bank, proudly African, truly international.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Business Morning, coming to you live on Channels Television. Now today we're looking at Nigeria's local manufacturing sector. We'll be looking at against the backdrop of the local industry patronage bill that's still before the National Assembly, although members have promised that they will give that bill speedy passage. We're still waiting for that to be passed. We'll also be looking at issues bordering on local patronage of local products, domestically or locally made here in Nigeria. I'm being joined now by the Director, Trade, Promotion and Membership at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Dele Alimi. Thank you so much, Dele, for being here.
You're welcome. It's great to be here.
And we're going to focus on the local manufacturing sector, particularly on small and medium enterprises. Now, but let's start with the local industry patronage bill. Now, apart from the fact that this SMEs, these small local manufacturers, are dealing with challenges such as infrastructure, poor electricity supply, unavailability of credit, they're also dealing with the fact that after they manage to produce these goods and they put them out there, there's the issue of patronage becomes a big issue for them.
Yes.
So just share your thoughts on this local industry bill. It's long time coming. We've been promised speedy passage, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. Let me start by the Lagos Chamber had always clamored for a kind of protection for the local industry, and we feel this kind of law would at least guarantee a high level of patronage, especially from the public sector. Don't forget that government is the biggest spender in the Nigerian economy. And when you have government now, government officials now being made compulsorily to patronize local industries, it's going to have a very good effect. It will serve as a very good example for people in the private sector. And then it could also help in improving the capacity of the local industries. And when capacities are improved, it doesn't lead to more employment. So the effect is going to be like throwing stone in a pond. It's going to grow gradually, and then it's going to grow larger, and it's going to affect different sectors of the economy. So it's a wonderful bill if it is passed and if it is implemented.
We're still talking about if, you just said if it is passed, if it is implemented. I mean, yes. We're still looking at some very bearish, very alarming figures. According to the Standards Organization of Nigeria, 80% of locally consumed goods in the country come from outside of the country. So one can only just imagine the number of factories outside of Nigeria, particularly in China, Asia, Europe, that have been, they're probably expanding over there, and they bring these goods in and we consume them, and here we are talking about the fact that if we're hoping that this bill will be passed.
Well, you just talked about 5 different challenges now facing the local manufacturers. Look at the issue of the credit. There is the problem of availability, whether they can even have access to this credit. And then when they have access, there is also the issue of the cost of this credit. And when you produce at that high cost,